Hello everybody. So today I have got something really cool to show you guys. So as you can see on the website that's open, as you can see Ludum Dare is live. Some of you might already know that. And as you can see, this is the amount of time that's remaining for the combo to end, and this is how much time for the gem. Now I woke up yesterday, and to my surprise, I saw this thing um, live, and I'd never attended or been a part of a jam before, and I said, "What the hell? Let's do it." So basically, for those of you who don't know, a jam is basically like an event. Ludum Dare is a very popular one, so I'm really excited to be a part of this. And yeah, for those of you who don't know, a jam is basically like a hackathon type situation where people get together and or as a solo. They work together on a weekend or a couple of days, 48 hours, 72 hours, and they make something from scratch and something beautiful. So it happens every 4 months, and I got a chance to be a part of it this time. And yeah, I've really I got off to a slow start. When I woke up, it was already 5 to 6 hours in, and then I couldn't get my idea together. I just couldn't start coding. And I'll actually get into the details of these experience probably after the dare ends, and I'll talk about the things that I've learned and the things that I would recommend beginners for approaching their first jam. Now, I'm not sure if I'm really going to submit the game or not, though I don't have anything to lose, so I'll probably go ahead and submit it when it's done or when time's up. Hopefully, if by that time I have a complete game ready, so to speak. But yeah, let's see what happens. And as is the case with each of these game jams, they have a theme. So the theme for this one was the more you have, the worse it is. Now I'm going to show you what I've been working on, and it's going to be a little hard to see the theme in it yet because I've been working on more of the general core mechanics. But I'll try and explain the theme, and hopefully by the time it finishes, or if there is another update, then the theme will become a little bit more visible by that time. So yeah, without further ado, I put in like 10 or 12 hours yesterday, I think maybe more. So I'm going to show you what I'm kind of working on. All right, so first of all, let me just kill off this. Well, no. Okay, so first of all, I really wanted to make something with gamepad controls. So this guy here, like my main guy that's going around in circles right now, I wanted to. I'm using my gamepad Xbox 360 controller, and I just think it feels beautiful. This is my first time, my first experience, basically, of creating something with a gamepad, and I'm really so far enjoying it. Now, with the gamepad, I knew that there were always going to be issues, like since I'm doing a melee type of game, then I knew that I was going to have problems, but I said, the hell with it, I'm just going to do it, and I'm going to try and figure out. So, I mean, the melee hitting and melee impact, and, whether you want to hit by raycast, or you want to have a spear cast, or you want to have some sort of colliders, and it's always a bit of a concern, and I'll talk about it again in a lot more detail when I have time at the end of the gem. But I'm still trying my best to work it out. So as you can see, now at the moment I've turned off the rotation of the camera. So usually you can rotate it. Let me just go ahead and enable that real quickly. This is just like, this is a Unity built-in, by the way. The simple mouse rotator script is a Unity built-in script, which allows you to easily rotate the mouse. So here we have like a 360 type view. Um, the over here, what I just built is a combat sandbox. So you see here, there's an enemy, and he's trying to kill one of my little dudes here. They're my minions, and if I go over to him and if I hit him, boom, he dies. Now, of course, at the moment, I'm just like disabling him, so it looks a bit jerky and stupid. But yeah, there's gonna be some. Hopefully, there's gonna be some particle effects and things like that. Making it a lot more cool. I really want to have one of those like kind of swinging particle effect type things, so that it looks like I'm actually swinging my sword or my axe real badly. So talking about what I'm doing here and what what I'm trying to create. Now, at the moment, this is just like a combat sandbox. Ideally, I want to make a proper map, depending on how much time I have. Now, there's not going to be a whole lot of story, but here's where the theme comes in, okay? So, initially, you're going to start off with a limited number, maybe 1 or 0 of these little minion dudes. And these minion dudes, at the moment, they just follow you anywhere you go. So, as you progress through the game, you're going to be killing these enemies. I might have a couple of more enemies, or a different class, because I'm not very happy with this model. But since I'm mostly using free assets from the asset store, then it's a bit of a concern, trying to find the right assets. So the minions, as you progress through the game and you're killing these enemies, more and more of these minions will join your little army. And going with the theme, the more you have, the worse it gets. Basically, what's going on here is that the minions are going to just increase the surface area for you to get hit. So basically, at the moment, they won't be able to do damage as such, or they will do very little damage to the nearby enemies. But if one of the enemies comes up and hits them, then you're going to be losing life. Now, there's no concept of a life and such, the enemy life, or anything like that at the moment. That's something that I'll be working on today. So the idea is, as you progress, you'll have 5, 10, 15, whatever, I don't know how many minions, and they'll take up more screen space. And at the moment, it's a really crowded place here, so I'm going to get rid of the barrels, probably. But eventually, I would imagine like a bit of a more spacious map where I can place enemies like all around, from swarming me from different directions, and they'll be targeting not just me, but they'll also be targeting the minions. So just a second, let me get some coffee. Yeah, so they'll also be targeting my minions, and it's going to be my job to pretty much protect them. Now, at the moment, I just have my one little swing attack. And I'm kind of working on perfecting that. As you can see, it has problems, but it does look nice. Like, for example, if I'm facing the other way, and if I do it, it's not killing him, but it might. So if he's too close, like if he's too jammed up against me, so as you saw, that's a bit funny, and he got him on the backswing and things like that. But I'm not gonna worry too much about the technical details, because I knew going into this game, like if I wanted to have smooth, battle mechanics, I could have just done a click to point thing. But man, I just want to experience this, and it's all about game jams are. It's my first one, but it's all about trying new things and things you wouldn't otherwise do. So it's in the spirit of that. So yeah, that's all I have at the moment. There's some simple nav mesh agents going on and priorities. So these guys are basically nav mesh agents. They're just going to be following me around everywhere I go. Now I don't like how they just when I stop, they just stop right there. That's probably not going to stay that way there. I want them to kind of idle around a little bit just to add a little bit more life into the game. It looks a little bit like what the heck right now. But if you've played any sort of a Diablo type game or any sort of a game where you can summon minions, they don't always just stand there. I really like how they follow me around. And I might actually have them attack as well. So I was just thinking it'd be pretty cool, like if they have they have a pretty large attack radius, and as soon as an enemy comes in, they just run like crazy, and the player is pretty much like, holy shit, stop please, because they're gonna go there and they're gonna get their ass whooped. At the moment, I'm thinking that they cannot die, but when they get hit, I pretty much lose life. So that's the paradigm I'm going for. It's a bit of a design issue. Initially, I thought that for every new minion that I get, I would lose a little bit of my life, and they would get life, and they would be able to die as well. And if they die, then pretty much I would lose those life points forever. So, for example, if I start off with 500 hit points, and if I get a minion, my life drops down to 480, and the minion gets 20 life and such. But I don't think I'm going to be going with that for now. At the moment, it's just going to be the more minions I get, each of them will be able to take damage from the enemies, and basically when they get hit, I'm going to get hit as well. Now, one of the things that's really concerning me right now, I don't know if I have any more monsters left. One of the things that I'm really struggling with right now is finding a proper way of setting my target for my enemy. For example, at the moment I'm doing it in a really bad way, just like a placeholder, and I'm not happy with it. It's not exactly giving me the I mean, it creates the illusion of, like for example, this guy right now is not targeting me. He's targeting one of the minions. So, he just started targeting that particular minion. Um, I'm not really very happy with this targeting. Ideally, what I want is for these red guys, these evil guys, to have, basically maybe have a running list of all the followers and players in a certain radius, maybe, and then calculate the nearest one, and then set that one as a target. But the only problem, and that's not very hard to do. I mean, I could easily put in like a private list of, possible targets, and then just very quickly check which one, whose distance is the nearest. That's not very hard. But the only thing I'm worried about is, since I'll be moving and since all the minions will be moving, then that target is going to constantly be changing. And I don't want, and since the enemy will also be moving, then I don't know. I feel like with my minions moving and the enemy moving and me moving, I'm just like wondering, well, is his what can I say? His target is going to constantly be changing, and he might just like spasm out and not really do anything. Like he might not really trigger that attack animation and such, which is really lethargic. He's a really laid back type of a guy. As you can see, he's almost kind of falling back, and I don't know why that is. Like I don't like this model at all. And it's not something to do with it has, I don't think it's something to do with how I set up my animations. I just think the character is like that. Yeah, I'm gonna fool around and see if I can maybe do something, and I'll definitely be speeding up his attack animation, because at the moment it's just ridiculously slow. So if I just go here and if we just test out his. Oh boy. Okay, so I have my enemy. As you can see, it's very ugly right now in the inspector. I haven't really like properly done anything, but I guess that's part of being in a jam. I'm not really thinking about all the details. I'm not thinking about creating the most scalable code. Also, you can see the animator. It's not the most prettiest thing on the planet. It's a bit embarrassing to be honest, but let's see how this looks. He should be attacking a lot more faster now. Yeah, so I mean, a little. It's too fast. Obviously, he's going to be dealing too much damage. So maybe I'll have to put some sort of a cooldown timer for him, so that he cannot attack me. But yeah, also my character is a little bit slow. Of course, I can bump up his speed, but I'm trying to think if there is any reason why I would want a run button. Um, but obviously, again, a design issue. If I have a run button, then I guess users would always be just running. So do I want to put a stamina bar or something like that? Just some things, just thinking out loud, just talking out loud. But anyways, I'm sorry, I've just dragged on for way too long. But yeah, this is a cool little thing. I always wanted to make this top-down type of game, and I saw Ludum Dare, and I said, this is it. We're going to do it this weekend. So without further ado, I'm going to start working on some of the things that I talked about, and hopefully, I don't know, maybe the next update or the final project, whichever comes first, or obviously, whichever I decide to show you guys. I hope that it looks way more better than what it is in its current state. I'm probably going to be fooling around with this combat sandbox a little bit longer, um, and try and figure out some things, some core mechanics like health, player health, enemy health. Maybe another thing that I want, as I said, is the melee is a little bit funny, and in most games they have some concept of auto aim. Now that might be a little bit overkill for this game, but I really want to do it sometime. So whether I do it for Ludum Dare or not, I'm not sure. But I do want some auto aim where if I'm close, then once again the my player automatically rotates towards the nearest enemy. So when I swing my sword, it hits him, as compared to like just nearly missing him, because clearly the user is trying to hit something like right here, but he's missing him, and it could be frustrating. So yeah. Anyways, that's all I have for now. I hope you like what you see. If you guys are working on Ludum Dare, or if you worked on another previous Ludum Dare, please tell me about your experiences. This is my first time. I'm really enjoying it, and I will see you in the next video.